Alright, so in this video, I'm mainly going to talk about two things. One is the importance of the duration of the snare, and two is the importance of second in chain versus in any time, or even positional versus in any time. So we're talking about Armsmen, and they have crippling blow, the anytime snare. Even though its duration is short, it's arguably the best snare style in the game because in any time you can use it any position you want. So this first clip here, it doesn't involve an Armsman, but the concept is the same. We're going to talk about in the beginning of a fight when you first engage the enemy team's tank, why duration of a snare can be important here. So I'm going to hit play, and you can see there's a hero that runs in here, and forget the part that I couldn't detarget him fast enough for the mez. But anyway, so he's stunned on ink, and now as you can see, the rest of the team up above there is running into the fight with the rest of their group, and he's left by himself. So here, obviously, having a long duration snare is beneficial. If you're talking about the Merc 2-part 27-second snare, it's okay here because you're going to have enough time to get the 2-part chain off. So like I said, this is one of the very, very few situations where that would actually be beneficial. So let's watch what happens. Okay, I snare him, and I run back in here, and he's just done. That's it. He's not going to be able to get back into the fight for a long time, so puts our team at a good advantage. Okay, this clip is going to be the typical situation where the tanks run in and try to train something together on ink. So we'll hit play, and you can see they run straight to the healer. So there's two mercs, and there's another merc in the red here who's missed on ink. So it's going to be three mercs trying to train down our healer. And so they stun him, and what I want you to think about here is how it would be different if you're trying to use a 2-chain snare on these guys versus in any time. So, alright, I stun the first guy, and I have a decision to make at this point. Do I want to go behind him and try to do a snare style? He's stunned for 9 seconds, so I have 9 seconds to deal with him. If you're using a 2-part chain, you probably have to go right away and try to get the chain off on him. But if you're using any time, you don't care right away. You don't care until it's like 7 or 8 seconds into the stun and it's about to wear off. Okay, so we're going to watch what happens. The other merc becomes unmez, so I go to him and I stun him. Okay, now, the first merc that I stunned is probably going to be coming out of the stun soon, and the other merc here that's been sitting in a mez and hasn't been stunned is probably going to come out of the mez soon. So I need to decide what I'm going to do. At this point, the two mercs who are in stun are priority on getting a snare on them before the other merc comes out of mez, and then I have to fight him probably, or if he might just let me slam him for free if he's stupid. But these guys aren't stupid, so that's what you need to do at this point. As an Armsman, you would have the anytime snare to go ahead and plop right on the two guys who are sitting in a stun right now. If you're a merc and you're trying to get off some 2-part chain that's not even always going to hit, you're just wasting time and efficiency. So let's watch what happens. Okay, snare, and snare this guy, and then you have to fight the other tank for stun, and if I can stun him, it's GG. That's 3 tanks boned out. So this is Rafes, and he gets a stun on me here, and then he snares me. And let's watch as they run into the fight. Okay, so you have the two mercs on the right who are snared, running in there, they're just out of it. And the fact that I made Rafes deal with me at least in a slam war means he's out of the fight for a while too, even if he's not snared. As a merc, if you're trying to do this kind of job against multiple tanks, you're not going to get this scenario. You're going to fumble around with a 2-part snare on one dude while the other guy comes out of mez, and you're not even going to get the second guy stunned at all. In this clip, I'm dealing with a situation where all the tanks are already stun immune, so you're not going to have the luxury of stunning them and just doing whatever you want to them afterwards. They're going to be on one of my teammates, and I need to be able to snare them off of him to give him a step to get away. That's the most important thing here, is just giving your teammate one step in front of the DPS so that they're no longer putting DPS into him and he's not in a spot where he can get killed. Alright, so like I said, the tanks are all stunned at this point, and I'm going to hit play and we'll watch. So the guy from behind comes out, and it's a BM, so he starts spamming Snow Shower on my healer, which is going to snare him from behind. So the other tank comes out too, and they both get on him. So at this point, I tell my healer to start circle strafing him, because if he's spamming Snow Shower and he circle strafes him, that means he's going to break the snare on him. And this is exactly the same thing that'll happen if you're trying to do a two-part chain on someone. You're going to break your own snare on the person a lot. So this is one thing you can exploit at a high level to get people open. So he circle strafes to break his own snare. Meanwhile, I'm putting snare on the target. That's how he's going to be able to get away. You can't do this if you're trying to do a two-part chain. You need the armsman anytime. So let's hit play. And he breaks his own snare, and I get a snare on both of these idiots. And he's away. And that's it. GG. Alright, one more clip, and give you the reverse POV here. So in this clip, I'm the offensive tank playing a hero here, and I'm going on a Thurgist. And my goal is to prevent the Thurgist from spitting out pets early. You're going to see the other team has a Merc Peel tank, so his job should be to free up the Thurgist, right? And since I'm not retarded, I'm going to spam snare on the Thurgist so it can't get away from me. So let's look at what the Merc tries to do to get this guy peeled. Okay, so hit play, and here I'm on the Thurgist, and I bring out Celtic Spear. This is a rear snare. So I'm just going to spam the rear snare on him so he can't get away and can't do anything. Now look at how far away he is from the rest of this fight. Okay, here comes the Merc, and the Merc's on me. And he's trying to hit flank, it looks like. So, you know, in the thread, people are talking about lol, PF proc, and all that other shit. You just look and see how effective this Merc is at peeling. So I'm spamming snare, and this Merc is just like, what is he doing, man? He's just like doing shit. The Thurg can't get away from me. Like, what is this? This Merc is retarded. Like, this is what you're going to look like if you're trying to peel on a Merc. Okay, so let's talk about what should happen here. 1, this guy should be an armsman. 2, he needs to tell the Thurgist to circle kite so I can't chain snare him. And then he needs to use crippling blow on me so I get snared, the Thurgist breaks his own snare, and the Thurg runs away. That's how you play peel tank.